Hi there, high performance golfers. Aki here, and I am just closing out my day and wanted to leave you all a special message, some of the breakthroughs and lessons learned from today's coaching sessions with some highly committed clients of mine, and want to share with you all things you can put into place immediately to get radical results with your golf game immediately, right? It's not about, you know, waiting for it to come. It's about putting things into place and seeing results instantaneously. And that means we're doing the right things. And so, this is for any of you guys or people out there who tend to jump from swing tip to swing tip, swing drill to swing drill. And every time you're out there, it's just not consistent on the things that you're working on. Sometimes it might be full swings, other times it might be wedges, sometimes it might be short game and putting, other times it might be driving, sometimes it might be mental game, although it's all great, right? We just feel like if you feel like you're spread too thin, there's not enough hours in your day, hours in your week that you can invest to really tackle everything, and you just feel like the wheels are spinning, but you're feeling like you're super productive because you're putting in so much effort, so much time. I'm going to share with you the thing that's going to help you with that, right? One of the biggest and most common questions that I get coming in from new students or anybody that is looking for some serious coaching is, I just want to learn the fundamentals. The fundamentals will take me there. Or my child, I want them to learn the fundamentals because the fundamentals will get them to learn to play this game, right? And if you're a serious golfer, we've been conditioned to understand that fundamentals are things like, how do I hold it? How do I stand? What's my posture? Where's my ball position? Right? And things like that. You might even think like the fundamentals might even be, ball flight. How do I want the ball to fly? Because if I can control my ball and understand principles of ball flight, that is the true fundamentals. There's so many different angles and ways we can go about it. And I'm here to redefine what the fundamentals are for you so you never lose your way and you never feel like the wheels are spinning and you're making huge accelerations in your golf game. So you're a happier golfer, you're a more fulfilled golfer, and you just love being there and you love putting in the time, right? So, when we talk about fundamentals, right, in my world here, when we talk about fundamentals is not any rules, it's not any tactical thing, meaning technique that we're trying to learn. All fundamentals is the very basic thing that is going to get you to the next step. And so if you can start to think as what are fundamentals, what is the thing that will get me to my next step in the progression of my dream of where I want to take my life and my golf game, right? And again, if you don't know where you want your golf game, then get super clear on that. Once you're clear on where you want to go, think about fundamentals as, okay, what do I need to do for my next step? Because everybody, depending on the destination you want to get to, is going to have a different next step, right? If golf instruction was a cookie cutter thing where, we can just take a sequence and just learn it that way, then or take back what Tiger or DJ does and say, if we learn it in this sequence and start from here, maybe you might be thinking let's start with the putting, and then with the putting, let's move to chipping, then to pitching, then to full shots, then to driving. We build it from the ground up, right? Those are really tactical ways to jump in, or other philosophies might be, let's start from the tee box out, because if I can't get off the tee, let me go work on the driver, right? And learn the grip, learn the posture, ball position for the driver, and we start jumping and diving into the tactical stuff. So again, you got to get so clear on what the destination is, because everybody has a different destination, right? And everybody has a different excitement, passion, fulfillment towards going to that destination. And so the fundamentals for that specific person, the fundamentals for you will be totally different than your friend, because you guys are in totally different place. Even if you are brand new and you and your buddy, you and a group of peers are all brand new, the fundamentals for you all will be differently, because different things will excite you. the destination is not going to be the same. And so fundamentals is figuring out what do I need to do for my next step. And so I'd like to share you a story with one of my 10-year-olds, just turned 11, right? He came in with, really wanting to play tournament golf, just started in there, but super nervous wreck out there, shaking when he's out there, losing lots of balls. When he came in, he played his first tournament in the, I believe it was the mid to high 60s for 9 holes, but lots of self-doubt, losing a ton of golf balls. I think for the 9 holes he said 5, 6, or 7 balls, and lots of self-judgment, right? And so when we're looking at where is he at, he wants to be a tournament golfer. What's his fundamentals? His fundamental specifically is building the courage, the resilience to believe in himself so he can perform, right? So he can enjoy the game, because it doesn't matter what the technique is, right? If he doesn't play it long enough, he's not gonna sustain and reach the goals that he wants. And so it's next step is, what can we do to build his confidence, which then brings it into the next question. What excites you the most about your golf game? What is going to get you to show up tomorrow? What's going to get you to show up to want to be practicing, excited beyond belief? And for him, he loved hitting the driver. He loves hitting it far. And so we took benchmarks and baseline measurements on the first session, where he was averaging about 123 to 124 yards average total distance with his driver, right? And getting so clear on that, what would excite you in the next 12 months for you to accomplish? At 10 years, you'll be 11 by then. The next 12 months, what would be so exciting for you? And he's like, man, if I could hit it 200 yards, that would be amazing. That would be so fantastic, so spectacular. And right, so that is the fundamental. We are working on building confidence through the driver. So now we start to stack things on there. And as we understand, okay, so now we're focusing on the driver. We're moving him towards the thing that he wants to build his confidence, his outlook on himself. And it's really getting him, I'll go backwards a little bit to see, okay, so what is the major fundamental to give him confidence? It's to get him to see himself already hitting it 200 yards, right? And visualization is such a powerful thing. Not your typical visualization where let me just think some great thoughts. Let me think about the great shot that I have. It's spending some time, right? Not minutes or hours, but really being serious about visualizing. Imagine, 100%. Imagine today, if you were to hit it 200 yards and the target that you set had come true, the big dream, the thing that would move you the most, if you had that happen today, right? What would that make you feel like? What would you do? How would you celebrate? Right? And not one of those fake things, but super serious and super feel internally what that's gonna do. Right? And so it's calming. For him, he had to calm down a little bit because he's kind of high strung, excited, and has a lot of energy. Got him to calm down and say oh my gosh, I would be telling everybody. I would be, wanting to go further. I would be sharing with my mom. I would be starts talking fast, and immediately a huge shift in his body, in his language, going from no confidence to extreme certainty just by doing that. And now what is that? That's the fundamental for him to be so excited about now this journey that we're gonna, go towards. And so start to think, what is your fundamental that has to be so simple? What is your next step? So you are not getting lost in in that hamster wheel of doing so many different things and not moving, right? When we look back and we just dove in on and mastering the driver, we're 3 weeks in today, right? And today was the first day we introduced our balance points and posture, right? So it took us 3 weeks to introduce that. But when we looked at the fundamentals of the other stuff that was way, way more important to get him excited, today was a major breakthrough for him, because although like your balance points and your posture might be fundamental for some of you and maybe generalized as that's the thing we got to know, like he started at 123 yards and today he came in and he almost hit his 1 year goal in 3 weeks, which is amazing. He hit 197 yards and his average of about 50 drives was about 168 yards, right? So he still mishits a few, but he picked it up from 123 to 167 average to maxing out at 197, and he is 3 yards, it was 2 point something yards away from his year goal, and he's accomplished that in just 3 weeks, right? What kind of excitement, what kind of enthusiasm, how much commitment do you think he has on getting it now? Whereas he saw himself every week making these massive strides, and now we're introducing another component, a little bit more technical component. Now it's like, here's your balance points, here's how I want you to stand. The buy-in is incredible, right? Because I don't have to convince him. He is doing it for himself, right? Because that is what's moving him. And he's gonna hit his 1 year goal. I have no doubt about it. He's gonna hit his 1 year goal, dream goal, 1 year in 4 weeks, right? That is how you maximize acceleration and you move and you hit targets. He's about to reset goals 1 month in after we set year goals, right? So when we talk about massive acceleration, it's about working on the fundamentals, and the fundamentals are, what is your next step? And to get to your next step, you have to understand and be so clear about the destination that you're moving towards. Why is that important for you? And the one that most people forget is, where is your current reality today? So what I want you guys to do, if you are finding yourself lost and you're finding yourself running in that hamster wheel, nothing is going, and you're super productive, putting in the time, but it's not moving, go back to the fundamentals. Define where the destination is, why it matters most to you. Define where you are currently, your current reality, and figure out what is the next step. That next step will give you the courage, will give you the momentum, will give you the confidence, will build the certainty for you to go for the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step. Keep it super simple. Keep on taking steps, and you will find that you will go so fast and you will hit your targets and your goals and your dreams faster than you ever thought possible.